So I've got these walls up, and this is the house in Decatur. I'm trying to get all this stuff put, all this two-dimensional stuff put in a three-dimensional drawing. And I think the next thing I want to do, just to start to feel like I've got a house going, is start a foundation. So what I did was just go around, and I drew a line all the way around the perimeter of the walls. Well, the first thing I did was I made a group out of the walls, and so that will, and I also put them in a separate layer. That will allow me to now turn off the walls. The first 4 walls is what I'm calling them, and you can see here, this is where I made that line all the way around. So the cool thing about SketchUp, with the shadows, I don't need this right now. The cool thing about SketchUp is that it has this offset, where is it, offset tool, and I can just grab this, pull that in like that, and just say 10 inches. There we go. And then I can get rid of this part in the middle, and now I've got a perimeter of 10-inch walls, and I know they're going to be at least 2 feet tall at a minimum, so I can bring that down with my push-pull tool. I'm just going to start off with 36 inches like that. So you see, that's how easy just getting started on the foundation is. Now, because I don't want this geometry to stick to the other geometry, I'm going to grab it all and make a group out of it. So now I can turn on this other layer, first 4 walls, and I can grab this group and move it around without having to worry about that group. They're independent of each other. Just like in real life, the walls are just going to sit on top of that foundation. Now eventually what I'll do is I'll find my Google Earth location, and I'll plant it in here so I can start to look at shadows and that kind of thing. That's a neat feature. Maybe in my next work session I'll go ahead and include the geography part. Anybody watching? You say welcome. Welcome to another live work session. There we go. And I'm doing this honestly because it's easy for me to create a video for the owner to watch. One thing I meant to do was I realized, let me pull this over here, because I realized last time that you all can't see this little box down here where I'm putting dimensions and things. So I think that'll be helpful. That's this area right down here, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. So, oh, well, the funny thing I should have done was, and since I should have created my subfloor first, my floor system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down. Well, I'm going to create a layer called foundation, and in SketchUp you always want to kind of keep the actual lines that you draw. You notice here this layer 0 is selected. You want to draw in layer 0, but put your groups in layers. So in other words, if I were to go into this group, that line right there is still in layer 0, but the group is in first floor walls. So just a little bit about SketchUp and how to manage your lines. But anyway, I got to get some work done, so I may not be able to talk a lot about what I'm doing unless somebody has specific questions in the comments. So I know I'm going to be using, let me get this in a view you can see better. I know I'm going to be using, I think the architect called for 18-inch. I'm not quite sure I need 18-inch, but for now we're going to assume that they are correct because sometimes I can put girders in and eliminate that extra height. But in any event, let's just assume for now they are correct, and I'm going to go down. So I know it's 18 and 3/4 basically, because, and I'm typing down here, you'll see in the lower right hand box, all I did was I'm just moving it around on the blue axis, and now I'm going to stop moving it and I'm going to type in 18.75, and that'll make it exactly where I want to be. Now the foundation's in the way right now, so what I should have done was I should have done the floor system first, but what I can do now is that I have a layer. It's just turn that, oops, I gotta put that in that layer, don't I? I gotta put the floor foundation in the foundation level and it will go away. So now I can do what I did earlier. I can just go back and try to get to where I can see the whole thing. Draw a line. All the way around. And because those walls are in their own group, this line is not sticking or becoming part of that geometry. In other words, if I didn't have these walls in their own group, the lines I'm drawing right now would just meld like a Vulcan mind meld. There you go. They would just become part of the lines that I'm overlapping them on. So now I've got a floor plate. I'll show you. I'm going to turn the first floor walls off, and now I've got another plate I can play with. So I'm going to call this, well, I'm going to make it a group, and then I'm going to make a layer called first floor subfloor. And the reason I'm paying attention to my naming conventions, because I want all my first floor stuff together here. Okay, so now I'm going to select that first floor subfloor. Now let's see, which way was it? Yeah, I got to go down 18 3/4. So now I'm going to grab this. Well, let's see, if I was smart, what I would do is I would grab this and I would copy it down 3/4. You can't really see it until I zoom in. I know people get mad because I zoom in, but I have to because I can't see. I have to be able to snap to these little corners. Like if I grab a pencil, I got to be able to snap to those corners and make sure it's accurate. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to first floor, subfloor. Well, for now it's okay. But I'm going to edit this and I'm going to bring this down 3/4 to there. And now I'm going to go out of that group. And I'm going to bring this subfloor, this framing level or group down 18. And now you can see I have a 3/4 inch layer and an 18-inch zone for the foundation. Now, so now I should have my foundation under that and my first floor walls on top of that. See, So my models are more about how the thing is constructed and not pretty pictures. I mean, they can turn out to be pretty pictures, but my interest is mainly in how am I going to build this. So, and what I mean by that is when I get ready, when I get the whole model pretty much done, I'll turn off the walls and the sub, and so I need to create a subfloor. So I need to make this, well, I'm going to create first floor framing. Okay, so you can see on my first floor, Barrett left a banana down here somewhere, and I found it, but I didn't know it was here, so I got these little gnats flying around in my office, and I'm trying to kill them. So now I'm going to put that layer in first floor framing. Okay, so now I can turn off the subfloor, and when I get ready to put in my joist, all my this zone right here, this block, this group of just pretty much lines and faces will literally get replaced with actual framing members. But for now, this block, this group is a placeholder for those joists, the trusses. I'm probably going to recommend floor trusses on most of this. So that's that. Now when I get some better information on the site, what I'll do is I'll come in here and maybe like pull if I find out I've got another 3 feet of slope, I'll just make this, I'll pull it down like that. Now I've grabbed I've grabbed some more lines I wasn't supposed to. Let me go under here and find out what's going on. Yeah, I would just pull. Well, what I'll have to do now, because I have all these offsets, like I'd have to do it one at a time. Like I'd have to pull this down first. No, I'm gonna have to, I'm learning too here. I've been doing SketchUp for a long time, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So what I'm gonna have to do is, let's say, sorry for the zooming, sometimes my finger just slips, okay? I know people are getting so mad at me, but quit zooming, damn it. So let's say I need to add 3 feet to this side elevation on the foundation. I would just have to go in there and draw it the way it is. But for now, I'm going to keep it easy, and that is the reason it's easy now is because I can just grab that face on the bottom and raise this up and down, the whole thing. And so I'm going to leave it like that for now. And this is a porch. I don't know if this is going to have a foundation or not. I would probably put one because I'm trying to talk. Hey Pete, I don't know if you're watching. I'm trying to talk him into making this like a sunroom with removable glass panels, so that the floor finishes can be like whatever you want, which means the foundation would need to come out and follow that line. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And here's a good example of where people get dizzy. I'm trying to maneuver around but this is it right here, this porch. And honestly, these porches are really expensive. These posts and handrails and all this flooring and all this stuff, you could easily make this an indoor space as cheap or cheaper than doing it this way. And I actually like the flexibility of being able to, this system I'm talking about, where you can take glass panels out in the fall, in the spring, but in the winter put them back in and have this as a nice cozy, because you got a fireplace here. So anyway, back to work, Tony. Now I do know that he wants, what have I got these at? I think these get 9-foot ceilings. Where's my tape measure? Well, they're all 9 foot now. I think the standard is going to be 8 feet. So what I can do now, see, is I can go in here and grab the major part of these and take them down 12 inches. Did it work? Yep, 8 feet. But in this core area right here, he wants it 10 feet, I think. 10 feet. Yeah. See if I got any comments. Love your videos. Will this be a video I can watch later? Yes. Yes. And I was getting ready to say that earlier. I'm being kind of selfish here because if I do this live, it becomes a video and I don't have to edit anything later, and the owner can watch it. I'm really doing this for the owner. Well, I'm doing it for everybody, but the owner lives in another state, so I'm trying to show him kind of where I am in the drawing process. But in any event, there's some weirdness. And if I don't answer your question right away, just hold on a second, because I have to go back and forth. There was a little that was connected for some reason. So I mean, to be more accurate, our walls should be another 1.1/8 higher. So I'm going to try to make this as accurate as I can. 1.25. Okay. So now, though, all I have to do is pop up these middle sections. But that said, now I've got to go in here and I do have to separate these walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a little line across there. And I'm going to go in here and draw a line across here. Now, do I need to do this? Yeah, I do need to do this. And I'll need a little line here, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. I'm trying to isolate these walls, but this would need to go here, and this, I need a line there. So let's see if this is going to work the way I think it's going to. What I want to do is just pull up this middle area. Why is that not? Oh, I see. I need to draw a little line across here and one here. Now let me go around right quick and make sure. And right here, I get it. I didn't isolate them very well. So really what I want to do is, there we go. I want to bring this at 2 feet, just like that, because these walls right here will be 2 feet taller, and I can go in here and delete these lines just to make it neater looking and to keep there from being any confusion. Because sometimes when people see lines, I mean, I'm this way, I'm like, what are those for? They're like a distraction. So I'm going to just delete them, because we wouldn't have those lines there in real life. Our drywall, see, literally this wall represents framing and drywall, so it's going to be 6 inches thick. See, so if I show a line there, I'm indicating that there would be some kind of expansion joint or something like that. So now we've got, oh, there's another line I don't need. So now I know, let's see, the weird thing is, it's not weird, but my stair is going to come up here and turn and go that way. So I know I'm going to have a condition right here that's a little different. Let me go back over here to my plan. Sorry for the zooming and scrolling, but it's just, maybe I should start giving a warning. Zoom warning, scroll warning. I wish I had a way of knowing if somebody asks a question or not. What if I put my headphones on? Would it bing? There's no noise when somebody leaves a message. So anyway, you can see here the stair. When you walk in the front door, you're going to turn left and go up the stair. Well, this point right here is not quite 10 feet yet. So what I got to figure out is, oops, might be best if I can help people not. If I'm going from here to here, that's only 16 feet. I can do this with 12-inch. So I guess my next focus is on getting this this little floor system here. So what I'm going to do now is, I know this is a group. I keep wanting to say block because in AutoCAD it'd be a block, but here group. You got groups in AutoCAD too. I don't know why I keep saying that. But since it is a group, I can just go ahead and start some other lines here, and I don't have to worry about them doing the old mind meld thing. Let's see, what am I trying to do here? I think this line's going to come on out here, and then we'll have a floor system here. But I'm only going to show it as 16 3/4, 16.75. And you can always watch the lower. I don't know if you can actually see those numbers, but I'm typing in the distance and then hitting enter. So that would be the floor system for that. So what I'm going to need to do is create two different floor systems. But I need to decide where my joists are going to be. Let's see how long this span is right here. That's 22 feet. 19 feet. Yeah, I'm probably going to use a 16-inch joist everywhere. When I say joist, I'm talking about wood eye joist. So what I may do is I'm going to make this a group, and I'm going to get down here where I can see just that geometry, and I'm going to select it, because I can actually, as long as I don't select all of this geometry in this group, I don't have to worry about selecting it. That's the whole point of making these groups. It just makes your drawing easier to manage. So that's a group now. So now what I'm going to do is copy that group. Let's see, first I'm going to make a layer called second floor. Let's see, I better do SEND, or I'm just going to do SEC floor framing. And as long as I name the other layers similar, they'll stay together. So I'm going to put this in second floor framing. Now I'm going to copy that, since I've already got it pretty much. Oops, I forgot to hit my control. See, now I'm dragging it around, but if I had just hit my control button, it would have left the other one there. And this is funny, because this is where you start to see the little boogers that you run into, like this right here, where this floor system wants to overlap. But not in real life, but it appears that it does. But so what I'm going to do is drag this out to here, and I think it goes out to here. I need to go check. I think what it is this is all attic. No, this is, oh, this is the garage floor. But I think this is all on the same level in the attic. So, well, the thing there is we want it to be all on the same level, because when we start building our roof system, we don't want all these different levels. So I don't know if you saw what I did there. I just drew a line. I'll do it again here. When I need to create an offset in that, I just take it and put a line on the end of it where it offsets, and take the push-pull tool and just push it back. And then here, this would be more advantageous for me to do it over here. Draw a line at this corner straight up, and I know the blue axis is straight up. Now I'm going to take and push that back. So see how easy with the push-pull tool it is just to create these different levels. And now I'm going to go out of that group, and I'm going to copy this once again. And for now, what I'm going to do is just copy it until I figure out all these little weirdness things going on. I'm going to copy it to here. Yeah, and kind of go around and fix it. Oops, I need to edit that group. You got to kind of keep an eye on where you are. If I had, well, I would have, oops, what was that about? That was odd. Why am I not? Aha! I found a booger. This wall is not. And this is one thing that, oh, I didn't get the floor all. This is one thing you got to be careful of in SketchUp. And this is why I got to zoom in, guys. I know you get mad, but this is why, exactly why. I don't know why that didn't align with that wall right there, but it didn't. So now I can go back and put me a line here and bring this out. Now, see, it's separate. But you see, I'll end up with all these little boogers in my drawing if I don't zoom in at certain times to see, like right here, why this is not, this ought to be even with that. So anyway, enough with the excuses on why I have to zoom. So here I'm going to pull it all the way out to here, because now I can just draw a line there and go back like that. And this just makes it easy. I love SketchUp because you can be as detailed or not as you want. So there's my floor system for that level. Now what level? What am I in the right? Yeah, second floor framing. Second floor framing. Well, the easiest way is just to turn off that layer. Second floor framing. Yeah, see that they all go off. Check for questions. No questions. Okay, so back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. So here, I know that my stairs coming up. This is here's the little weird part I got to figure out. The stair is coming up here, and it's going to turn and go up to this level. But what I need to do, having a 24-inch, what is that? having a 24-inch step up is really kind of weird because you can't make your steps 8 inches. So I'd have to do 24 inches divided by 4, which would make them 6. So you're almost better off. The code doesn't allow the steps to be any more than 7 3/4 tall. So if I have a step from here to here that's 24 inches, I'm either going to have 4 6-inch, and why I needed a calculator for that, I don't know. 4 6-inch or 3 8-inch. I can't have 3 8-inch. So what I would probably do, and this is what we did on the Suck Creek Roadhouse. I don't know if you followed. Do I have any videos? I think I have a few videos. I actually made this 22.5. Yeah, I actually made it 22.5 so I could have 3 7.5-inch risers. And the owner didn't really, I told them I was going to do it, but they couldn't tell when they're standing in this room down here that it's not 24 inches taller. So I think I should have probably thought of that when I was raising those walls up. But easy enough, I can just take this floor system and move it over here, and I can, what would that be, 1.5 inches, 22.5, yeah. So are these, that's 8 foot 1 1/4, and this should be 10 foot 1 1/4, yeah. So I can take this down 1.5 inches, 1.5, and then I can put this back. Oh, I gotta get out of that. Okay, get out of that group and then grab the other group and grab that right there. Oops, that's the wrong snapping point, isn't it? I need that snappy point right there. So what the point I'm trying to get to now is I'm trying to get to a point to where I can actually measure from the floor, like grab a point on this upper floor level, hold my shift key and go all the way down 11 foot 4 1/2. So then I would figure the number of risers I need. Let me write that down. 11 foot 4 1/2. Check for comments. No comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this floor out of the way for a second. I'm just going to put it over there. Move floor. And I'm going to build me what I use in the beginning is just these little blocks, these little almost like Lego blocks for stairs, is I will draw myself I usually make the stairs 42, well, on an entry stair, maybe 48 inches. Let's go over here and see what the architect has. She's got 3 foot 6 also, or he, I don't know, yeah, she, it was a she, Heidi Heffernan. She's actually a good lady, I like her. So what I'm going to do here is just draw this 42 inches, and I'm going to draw it 10 inches deep because that's how deep you frame your treads. You frame your treads 10 inches. They end up being like 11 1/4, but the actual run of the tread is only 10. When you're figuring the run, you figure the actual cutout of your stringer. So I'm going to make that a group, and then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pull it up. Well, let's see, I got to figure out how many I've got. So let me do some quick math here. I know 11 times 12 is 132 plus 4.5. 136.5. let's say, okay, so I'll write that down. For some reason, when I write things down, I can remember them easier. So let's just guess. I'm going to guess 18 risers. Oh, I'm pretty good, people. Okay, 7 5/8. Now you could do 19. 136.5 divided by 19, and I'll let you 7.18. Really depends on 7.18 is a little over 7 1/4. Why don't we do that? Because well, 136.5 divided by 18. Now let's leave them at 7 5/8 because that's just a little over 7 1/2. And that would cut out one whole riser and tread, or one whole riser. So what am I doing here? I'm gonna bring this up 7.58. Now I've got myself a little building block. See, now I can copy these around. I can take this, do that. Oops. That. And if I was, if I knew exactly how many I needed, where I wanted them, I would just say, I would copy it there once and then say at, 20 times or something, whatever I wanted. So for now I'm going to make this a group so I can manage this better. And so I'll be going inside that group now to add or subtract steps. But I know what I should have done was, I know she has, or the architect has, 1, 2, 3. So I'll start out with that. I'll start out with 3. Delete that one. There we go. Now we'll make this our little. Well, what I can do is go ahead and put the 4th one, and that can be my. That can be my landing, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. Yep. Now I can spin this around 90 degrees and bring it out, and I think I'm going to turn off these walls for a second. It makes it easier. This is why working in layers is really easier. I'm going to turn off the second floor framing for a second too. Well, see, now I can get to this. So we're going to make this landing square. So I'm going to come over 30 or 42 inches, and now I can just grab this little tread and make it the landing. See what I did there? Get rid of that construction line. Turn this off, and I know I got to move this over. Then I'm going to turn the first floor walls back on, and I can't see, so I'm going to hit this all extents. Oops, I still had a hold of the stairs, and make everybody mad. Zoom in real quick. And I'm going to take it first. I'm going to lock it on this green axis. So see, if I don't lock it, it'll do that. I'm going to go over to the wall, then I'm going to lock it again on the red axis and go to the corner. See? So now I have that 1, 2, 3, just like she has it. Now what I'm going to do is go in here and copy these 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to copy them up here. And I'm going to spin these around 90 degrees, and what you have to do is you'll have to actually frame this landing. Well, first I'm going to put these stairs back since they're already selected. Okay, but since our stringer can't sit on nothing, what we have to do is make this landing a little wider. Let's see. Well, yeah, because yeah, what you'll want that to be is 6 inches, and you'll want this, because I'll show you why. Because when your handrail is coming down, you'll have a post sitting here, but then you'll need these steps to be wider than those steps. They'll need to be 4 feet. Well, we would want them to be 4 feet. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to copy this one down like that. And that should be on the floor. Yeah, you can kind of tell if it's on the floor or not because you can go under, kind of rotate it, and you can see that it's touching. Okay, because I need this to be pretty accurate because I'm stuck in a wall. Because I'm literally trying to figure out my run on these stairs, and I don't want this to be less than 42 inches. Now in some houses we make these stairs 48 inches, so, but the customer doesn't have a huge family. 42 inches is fine if it's just for 1 or 2 people, but if you got a huge family, you might want to think about making them 4 feet. So, where you got 2 people, more than one person going up and down the stair all the time. But anyway, now what I'm going to do is copy this, copy Roger, copy this, that. Now, here's where I can get into my copying more than one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I know I can do this 8 more times. So I'm going to copy this up here, and then when I do that, down in the bottom, or I'm going to type times, what did I say, 8? I forgot, anyway. See? So then it copied that up 8 more. Now, what I should have now, if I turn on the second floor framing, oh, I moved it. I was like, where'd it go, man? This should be on the same plane. Yeah, see? This, we'll see how close we got. If I lock that on the red axis and I go over here and then I zoom in, you'll see that it was so close that it ain't even funny. See? Very close. Now in real life we'll make it work out. This is just for now that little, I don't even know what that is. Let's see. Is it even a 1/16 of an inch? Is it even measurable? Yeah, it's a 1/16 of an inch. And that's the way it works out in real life. I mean, in real life the code allows you actually up to, I think, 3/8 of an inch difference on the top and bottom riser than the it's easy to get all these risers in here, right, because it's just your 2x12s you've cut out. But when you get to the top and the bottom, that's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And anyway, so now here's another thing we got to figure out. Let's cut this wall so we can determine. We got anybody watching? Just watching to see if the stairs come up to the highest floor level or the low. Oh yeah. Well, that's interesting because I got to make it work on both of them, and that's kind of the point I'm looking at here. Oh my gosh, how close is that? Oh, look at that. That's not what I'll have to do is figure out that. I'll figure that out to where they work out with both of them. In other words, I should have thought of that actually. This run of stairs right here should be based on the height from the landing that landing to that floor level, and then I'd have a landing right here, which is hopefully going to be, well, I'll show you. This, is it this one? Yeah, this one. So I can move these three. 1, 2, 3. I can move these over. I want to make sure I keep that on that red axis so I don't want to lose my elevation. That like that, and then this one, what do we have? See, now I got to worry about what my ceiling level is from the bottom of this step. Block it. Okay, I got 8'10", so I'll have at least an 8 foot. Yeah, I'll have at least an 8 foot ceiling in there. So what this tread now becomes a landing. I forgot, what am I going to snap it to? Let's go see. Again, sorry about all the rotating, but I gotta, that's just part of it. And Barrett's banana gnat still trying to kill me. So there we go, like that. So see, now I can, but what I want to do to make this more clear, I want to get out of this, and I want to edit these walls. So I'm going to draw me a line across here, and I'm going to draw me a line. Oops, what is that? That was weird. Didn't seem to want to snap to the right. I'm going to draw me a line, excuse me, a line across there. And so I can push this down to, below there for now, until I figure out exactly what that wall's going to do. But you can see, nothing ever works out perfectly the way you want it to, but it's not bad. None of this is bad. But you see, this landing, let me turn off the second floor for a second. Second floor framing. Okay, you see, this landing becomes the ceiling for the hallway. Okay, so it will come all the way over, and there will be a little bulkhead. I clicked on the wrong thing, didn't I? I meant to click on the stair. There we go. What? Oh, I gotta edit the landing too. I want that face right there. That's going to come all the way over to here, see? Here, see? And most likely it's probably going to be thicker than that, but I'm just going to leave it alone for right now. It's also going to be weird because, I really need, what in the world? Did you see the screen go blank? That was weird. But I really need this part of it to come all the way back to there. So you can see how you can get into weird little things on this stuff. From down here, you won't be, well, okay, here's a good example. Is this ceiling, is that tall enough for a ceiling in the hallway? Yeah, actually it is. 8'2". So we could actually, so I'll ask Pete whether he wants to have this one be the ceiling or this one. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now, just to remind me to ask that question, because I got a meeting with the owner this Tuesday, and I'm trying to get ready for that. So now you're asking, what is about this? Well, I'm getting ready to show you. That's right. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to turn it, because now it's got to go this way and move over. Yeah, we want this to go. Oops, I lost my selections, didn't move out, move back that way. What did I do? Yeah, like that. And so now you can see when I turn this floor back on, there's going to be this wall. That's why I didn't draw this wall all the way up. Let me turn the floor back on to give you an idea. So see now, this floor, this floor will have a cutout in it. And we're going to make a little, oops, we're going to make a little, right, and I don't know exactly how wide he wants that. We'll have to look at the second floor plan, because that's the 3'10". I'd almost make it there just to make that line up. But in any event, this has to be pushed back to here. Yep. See? Oops. Keep grabbing the wrong thing. And actually that actual one goes away. See? Because your last riser is the floor. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring that over to here for right now. Like that. So, and there will be walls to hide, like this wall here below. Well, where am I? Yep, let me see. What have I got? Let me draw myself a line across here just to make sure I don't pull up the whole wall. So that whole wall, this little wall right here would get pulled up to there. See, see, this is why I do this, because I build this thing in my head before I start building it on the ground. Now you can see, or can you see? Can you see? Let's see if I can get it at an angle without making you barf spinning you around. You can see now, you come in, the door will be right there. You'll come up, boom, 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 to that landing, boom, 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 boom. And now, this floor here will actually come over. On face. Get it lined up to there. Like that. Now you're asking me where. Now what you have to do is, if you want, do we have enough room to? What you want to do next is check your headroom from the landing to the bottom of that. That's 7'5". That means if I've got 6'8" from here, and I like to leave 6'10" actually, just because that's how I roll. Because some people are actually pretty tall. See, 6'9". That's actually pretty good. What I'm saying is, you could. Let me go back and look at the floor plan. Well, I don't have the second floor. I'll pull it up in a second. But you could, in theory, gain. How am I going to show this? Oops. Gain square footage on the second floor by bringing. And I've done this before, and people just kind of go crazy over the little spaces you develop for them. And I love this kind of stuff. I love finding little I love finding little pieces of floor that I can add back to the second floor, because now that might be a place where now you have the option of either leaving that open above the stair, or you can build a little closet up here, and I'm going to find out whether that's going to work, what that's going to give me or take away. But I just want to know that first. I want to know that if I walk down these stairs, I can do that, because from here down to this step is 6'9" and 7/8. 6'10" is what I said I wanted, isn't it? That's funny. You can get by with 6'8", but I always like to plan on 6'10", because by the time we add, now this is supposed to be finished materials, but sometimes things end up being not what you want them to be, and you get kind of caught. So see, now we've made it up to our second floor, and this seems weird, like in here, but in reality, all these different little lines wouldn't be here. Like, I would trim this out in a way. How would I do that? I would start this stair back a little bit so that this stair could go back. Anyway, I'll figure out. But again, this is why I'm doing this. I'm going to find these little areas that are going to be trouble when I start putting, risers and kickers, and when I want drywall to come around the corner and all that stuff. So that's why I'm doing it. Let's see if I got any comments. Oh, comments. Well, Linda. Oh, it'll be a video when it's done. Tony, keep up awesome work. Thank you, Abby. Bucko, this doesn't look like a 12 by 20 shed to me. Oopsie, I gotta do. The title. Oh crud. You know what happens? Dang it. Thank you for bringing that up, because the title gets saved from your last live stream. This is a lot bigger. Yeah, this is the big house in the country. The series. Can I save that and it changed the title? Will it work? Bad video settings. What's that mean? Please use a keyframe sequence of 4 seconds or less. Live stream. No, I should have never. See what you did? You got me off track. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Okay. Did it change in the comments? If you can tell me whether it changed or not, because it is not supposed to be the 12 by 20 shed. For a minute, I thought, because I had told somebody I was going to go back to finish up the 12 by 20 shed, but this is actually something I'm getting paid to do. So. It overrules the non-payment method. So, well, eventually I'll get paid. This is going to be a house we're building. So, okay, so I've got my foundation, I got my floor system, I got my first floor walls, and I got my second floor system. Now, the one thing I don't have is, did I account for this? How tall is this? 3/4. Probably what I need to do is take this down. I need to take this down 3/4 and then add back the 3/4, because what will happen is I will actually start this zone right here, this lower zone, will actually become the floor trusses or whatever it is. So I'll actually need my subfloor there. So what is that? I need to go down 16. I need to go down 16 inches. Oh, it would be 15.25. 15.25. There we go. I kept losing my subfloor. So see, now I've got I've got 16-inch zone that I can put my framing in, but I can keep my subfloor there, which is what I like to keep. I like to show the subfloor and the floor framing. I'm not going to, I don't go in here and show carpet and all that stuff. This is mainly strictly to build this by. When it comes to finishes, I'm not so much worried about it. I know by that time I've already got it built. So I need to do the same thing for this. Yep. I need to copy this. Well, let's see. I need to go in here and go down 3/4 first. Then copy this. And take it down. Is that 16 inches also? Or, yeah, I need to go down 15 1/4. So I should have 16 3/4 to the top. There we go. And just one more, bear with me. Down 3/4. Copy me the subfloor up. 15 1/4. So there we go. Did I do that? Yeah. So see now, when I start to put my joist in there, I'll have my subfloor and I won't have to recreate it. Now it's time for me to, what time is it? 3:43. How long have I been going? I agree with, yeah, thanks Smile Money for telling me. I guess this is working. YouTube is saying I have bad video settings, but whatever, as long as it's working. So okay, so what I need to do is I need to bring in my second floor because I don't have it. And what I may do, I'm not going to bring it in. I'm not going to actually bring it in. I'm going to reference. I'm just going to pull up. I'm going to pull up. Where am I? Documents, artists, construction, projects. Look at this, guys. We've been in business since 2004. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Next year will be our 15th year. I'm excited. So right here is the architectural drawings. And I'm going to the second floor. So here you go. Well, okay. Well, that's that area over the stair right there. I don't know if you can see my little hand, but that is going to help me because I'm going to have a valley situation right here in the roof, and eventually you'll get to see the roof. So I can set my rafters on. My rafters can sit on that all the way across. Now, if Pete doesn't like that, if he wants this open all the way up, I'll just build me a little wall across there. And since this is a nice big open house, maybe what I'll do is go ahead and just push this back to that wall. And then if he wants it, see, that's what I would do. If he said, no, I want that open all the way up, then this part of the ceiling would be vaulted. It would go up at an angle because the rafters are going to be, so either way, this will be nice and open. The ceiling would be vaulted right there. So that's probably the best way to do it. But again, this is what you do. This is why I do this. I build this thing, and here, I was going to say so that I don't have to later, but I build it here so that I can later easily, because when I get to these little glitchy spots like this and this, I'll already have, my framer will say, well, what do you want to do here? Now, my framer's a smart guy, okay? So, and I am too, so actually, not bragging on myself, but I just came up with a solution. That can go back to there. This can go back to here. And this is actually the strongest way to do this. And we would just let this wall up. I gotta edit the wall first. I mean, I gotta get into my group, my wall group. And then, will this wall come up too? Well, just to demonstrate what I'm talking about, I'm going to bring this wall. See, we would build that wall up to there, like that. So now, when the rafters are coming along here, let me get you out of it. When the rafters are coming along here, boom, 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 they would just start to sit on the wall there. And since that wall is just contiguous, that would be a lot stronger than having a little wimpy piece of floor system come out there. Now, hopefully, whoops, that was bad. I started to delete that line. Thank God for the undo button. But that's one thing, it's an option. Now, if I, for some reason, I'm not there when they do, I'm going to be there most of the time. But if they're not, it's no. My framer may say, no, just let me build all the walls. There's a value. There is a value to this, because when you're in this mode, when you're in the mode of framing walls, you know, we're using pre-cut studs. There may be a value to just letting them build this wall all the same height. So we'll see. I'll report back on that one. But I say that, and we'll just have to see how this works out. Because looking at this wall should have never been brought up. How do you redo that? I can't do it now. I'm going to go back and now that I'm thinking about it, well, I'm getting stuck on it. I'm not looking at the big picture. Drop back, Tony, and look at the big picture. Okay, so the point is now I need to find out what this second floor looks like. So I'm going to pull my PDF up again, and it looks like all this. It doesn't. What's funny to me is it doesn't look like the architect has got an allowance. I mean, if this was my house and I was going to go through all this, I would have a door going in here. I certainly would, and I wouldn't have these walls at all. I would just have the mechanical. I would just have the mechanical stuff in here. You don't need these walls. They're not going to be full height walls anyway. That's weird that they show them that way, because I'll show you why they're not going to be full height walls. I'm going to go down to the elevations, and for some reason this is weird. They show this thing here. That's not supposed to be there, I don't think. But I think that may be an alternative dormer or something. I don't know what that white thing is. Maybe Pete can tell me. But when you look on, when I look on the other elevation, it doesn't show up. I guess this roof is blocking it from that view, and that roof is blocking it from that view. But the point is, what you're looking at is the floor. The This is not drawn. Something's not right about this picture. The way this is drawn, this is all vaulted. No, it says attic stairs. That is odd. Attic stairs. Or is this open to below? No, it says attic right there. That is odd, because the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a window right here. See that window right there? It's showing up on this level. Well, oops. You go back to the elevations. It's just not drawn at the right height. It's going to be higher than that, because the ceiling is right here. This window would be on the floor in the attic. If this was true, the window would be like right here is the floor, pretty much at the bottom of that. Pretty much right about here is the ceiling below. So that would put this right on the floor. I would probably bump that up a little bit. And like this one, see how close this one is to that bracket? Why is that not? That is the same elevation. I would probably bump this one up. But anyway, details to be worked out. Let me check my comments. We are not seeing what you are, Tony. Your cursor is moving, but some frozen picture. What? This happened to me once before, and so yeah, I see what you mean. I can see the little timer spinning on the YouTube side. How do if I refresh this, am I going to lose it? Okay, so did I fix it? Well, shoot. I think what happens is this gets fixed in the video. That's the sad part. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. I can't change it. Alright, well, sorry guys. Started when you changed the title. Son of a gun. Alright, well, let me start over. I'm just going to restart it. So maybe, because I'm going to keep working. There's no reason for me to. So I'm going to start it over.